So I think this is where you drain the oil from the Ford Transit, right? So I'm going to be changing my oil today, and I've assembled everything here that's required to do the job. First off, always make sure you have gloves, and you might need more than one pair of gloves, but I'm going to start out with a pair of gloves. Also, you'll need a 15 millimeter close-in wrench or socket, whatever you prefer to use. I prefer to use a wrench, that way I can control a little bit better, because it's a 3/8 inch ratchet along with a 3/8 inch 10-inch extension to reach the filter up there, and also a filter wrench here. It takes a 3/8 inch drive on the end, and or a 7/8 inch socket will fit over this too. So there's two options there for that. I will leave a link for this down in the description for you, and also some funnels I'm going to utilize. This one here is for the putting in the new oil. And also you'll need a 2-gallon oil pan for the dirty oil when it's coming out. And plenty of rags and towels is important. I can't emphasize enough, just make sure you have a lot of rags. That way you clean up, makes it a lot easier. And also we'll be putting in a new filter, and along with that old filter, we'll put the old one in the plastic bag here and recycle it through our curbside recycling here in the town I live in. And it's never a bad idea to have your manual close by. I'm using Mobil 1 Advanced Full Synthetic 530 oil in the van. I've been using it the last two other filter changes and oil changes, and I think it's a pretty good product. So, but to your choice of what oil you want to use. Just read your manual, and they'll give you guidelines on which oil to use. But this is what I'm going to be using. Also, you'll need a container to put your dirty oil in. So once this is empty, this is a 5-quart here, and I've got an extra. Usually you got to buy 2 of them because it takes 6 quarts of oil in the engine once you drain it out. But you'll have an empty one of these to recycle your old oil, and that's what I'll do when it's empty. I'll go ahead and put the old oil in here and have the curbside pick that up for me. Make sure that the engine is warm or hot. I mean, just run it a good 5 minutes, get the oil nice and warm. Since my driveway is on an angle, I decided to put the front driver's side tires on the blocks and the passenger side tires on the curb. This gives me plenty of room under the van. Also, make sure and take your keys out of your pocket. So now I got this tarp underneath here to protect the ground here. Since we're in the street, I don't want to get any oil on the street. And it's going to be a mess. Any way you look at it, taking the filter off and the plug out, there's going to be oil that's going to spill somewhere. So this is going to be the protector for it. Open the hood. The latch is right down here on the left side. Just pull on it, you'll hear the hood kind of come up a little bit. And then there's a finger latch underneath here, safety latch. That will open it up. It's right there, it's in yellow. Okay, I'm going to remove the filler cap here. We're going to set that aside over here. And I'm going to remove the dipstick here. Right under the bumper on the driver's side, you can see the filter up there, right in here. So I'm going to take that off and drain it into the pan that I got below it. It's probably going to get oil on this stuff here. I have to wipe that off when we get done. Make sure and place the oil pan under the filter. Never a clean job. Make sure the gasket is off. It came off with the filter. Sometimes it gets stuck up there. I'll get a rag and clean that off. And clean everything else too as well. So make it nice and clean. And of course we got all this oil here. Drip down, have to clean that up. This is where you drain the oil from the Ford Transit. So place the wrench up here on the oil plug, and it's a 15 millimeter. You gotta line up the pan so it hits the pan when I get the plug out. Oil's nice and hot. Should be any minute. And you can see the oil going out into the pan, into the and make sure that this for the plug for the oil pan is nice and clean before we put it back in. The gasket looks really good on it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up the filter. I'm going to leave it in the box, keep it balanced a little bit better, and then I'm going to put some oil around the gasket here. And I hold it sideways. It won't come out as easy. But okay. Take that little bit of oil. If I didn't have it in this box, it would have been a mess. When installing the filter, turn it until it is snug. Then with your hand, tighten a half turn more. Do not use any tools. And also reinstall the plug. You hold it sideways like this, you don't get the belches that come out if you hold it vertically. You will need to reset the oil life indicator. Turn the key until the display lights up. You will need to use the information display controls on the right side of the steering wheel. So you want to be at the little picture of your van in there, and then you want to press menu, and then you want to use your OK button to go up and down. So we're going to go down to vehicle maintenance, press OK, and then oil life is the one we want to say OK to, and it says reset oil life, and all you got to do is just hold that in for a few seconds and it'll say oil life reset.